Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is another out-of-theater reaction for the new comedy movie coming out this weekend, No Hard Feelings, starring Jennifer Lawrence, directed by Gene Stupnitsky, and also written by him. The movie definitely has that classic feel of a 2000s rom-com. It does a few things different in the way it ends than maybe your classic rom-com. It's not like you're going to necessarily expect what's going to happen or how the two main characters are going to turn out. I thought Jennifer Lawrence in this was really good. I think this is a really great role for her at this time in her career. Playing this just not older lady necessarily, but she's getting closer to like middle age, I guess, this character, if you will say so. She's an Uber driver, also bartender, doing both jobs, trying to make the money that she can. I thought her story was really relatable and endearing. You understood the position that she was in and why she's doing what she's doing, the way she is as a person at this time in her life. And you have this younger kid, Percy, who she is trying to basically get signed on to do a job with his parents without him knowing, to date him because he's going to Princeton after the summer's over, and they feel like he is just this sheltered kid, partly because of them, really, and he can't do anything really on his own, and he's just never been with any girls much. And so Jennifer Lawrence is basically tasked to one of the things, to get with him literally, and also just to date him and get him out of his shell. So there's a lot of fun just with that general idea, and I thought the chemistry that Percy and Maddie, who Jennifer Lawrence's character is, the chemistry they had in this movie, I thought was really good right off the bat. Percy, Andrew Barth Feldman, I believe is his name, he did a really good job playing a true, natural, just innocent kid who's been sheltered all his life, especially nowadays, 2023. I think this is a really good time for this movie to come out. A lot of relatable themes with that in this movie, and how dating is nowadays, and just how younger kids act around each other. They touch on, of course, on the humor with like technology and just all the way kids act nowadays. Was really well done for the most part overall. Yeah, it's a comedy movie, so it's a very subjective. All movies are, but comedy even especially so. And there's going to be jokes in here that don't quite work every now and then. I was like, that one kind of was a miss. But for the most part, I think it's very consistently funny for me. So I really enjoyed it, and obviously being a comedy movie, that's the main thing it's got to accomplish. And I think the story does have some heart every now and then. There's a few scenes where the job that Maddie has, at first she's treating it like a real job and not really trying to get too close, just really trying to get with this kid so she can get the car that she is promised after this job is done. But then you do start to see the relationship develop, and it is actually really nice to see how it happens. And again, there's some emotion here near the end of it, and all these side characters, not too many side characters here, but the ones you get, they're really funny here throughout. I thought they all had their nice little moments, and yeah, this is a nice, again, a little throwback to like the 2000s, what you would see in a rom-com, but it's not like your typical one. Like, this isn't necessarily, you're not going to spoil anything, but it's not necessarily as, like, oh, these guys are going to end up happily ever after. Like, it takes a little bit of a different direction in where it's going with that, and that I also really did appreciate. And yeah, just had a nice little fun time with it. It might be the funniest movie for me so far this year. There hasn't been too many like just straight up comedies to come out. I have to think about it. I did like About My Father, the one with Sebastian Maniscalco and Robert De Niro that came out recently, so it might be right there with that. And there's this new movie Joyride coming out soon. If you haven't heard about that, that looks absolutely hilarious, and there were some genuinely hilarious moments in this movie, but yeah, just very consistently funny throughout overall. And I had a pretty good time with this movie. Jennifer Lawrence, Percy, really the standout, really focus on them throughout this. So really fun movie with a lot of good humor, and I would definitely recommend going out to see this if you're interested at all, or if you just want to take a break from some of these bigger movies or whatever and just see a nice comedy. I thought the parents in here were really well also, as playing helicopter parents, just hovering over him, always controlling his life, tracking his phone. Matthew Broderick playing the dad. It was really nice to see him in here, and they had there's a lot of the nice little awkward humor in here as well. They throw in that really fits the situation, and it was just where the story goes, and when the comedy is all there, it all felt very natural to me, and I thought it was just good writing overall. So yeah, definitely a positive recommendation for me. It's a new movie, No Hard Feelings.